Alright, so figured out a pretty stupid way of doing it. Um, can't say I'm happy about it. It's kind of confusing. So essentially we're 1 inch up. Essentially we have to create this object, but shifted down 1 inch. So everything I made before can't be made again, which is cool, because that means we got to waste a lot of time, which is always fun. Um, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this object 1 inch. Yeah, we're just gonna make it 1 inch out. So just to make sure, because a lot of times it doesn't like to go. Huh? The hell that was. Okay, so reference plane, 1 inch, please. Interesting. Okay, it's always fun when it doesn't work. Okay, so and these are half an inch. This is 1 inch down, so technically we should be able to not select any of them. Sweet. Even better. Um, it's creating the reference planes apart from the sketch. So basically what's happening, anything I draw right now, after I complete the object I want to draw, will just disappear. Essentially is what's happening. Um, Not necessarily what we wanted, but it's what's there. I just made this one. Wait, what am I doing? Sorry. So, oh yeah, we're supposed to go down 1 inch. Okay, duh. I'm an idiot. Alright, so reference plane. And we're supposed to go down 1 inch from here. Not exact, but close enough. We can find out if it's not far by dimensionalizing the two lines. 2 inches. Okay, so it is far enough. That's fine. Alright, so now what we got to do is draw our 2 inch object. So go here. So 2 inches long, 1 inch wide. Okay, so that's what we wanted. But we got to make sure that these objects stay. So we are going to align them with their profiles, which will disappear afterwards anyways. And we don't want to align it with this. Yeah, we want to align it with that profile. Actually, we don't. Yeah, we don't. We're gonna leave that one because okay, so if I lock this with this line, this profile line, I don't want this object to be here. I actually want it to be up against the wall over here where I originally drew it. Um, so when I realign it to push it over there, I don't want it to drag everything that it's locked with over there too and then squeeze the whole thing. That's not what we want it to do. So we're gonna leave that one unbound so that it can move, but the rest of it can't. Actually, probably want to unlock this one too. So that way these two can slide over. We don't want it to change. Yeah. An email or something? Anyways, phone's making noise. So go ahead and click yes, click OK, and let's see the object that it made. So if we go into 3D, save project, sure, whatever. Okay, sweet. So it made our object. Made it in the wrong spot, and yeah, but what can you do? So we just go to reference, and we are literally just going to pull that object, the sweep, we are going to I think if I align this with this, nope, cancel. I think if I align this with this, pick this line and that edge. Oh, it's not going to let me. What about this? It's not going to let me. Interesting. Okay, so edit sweep, edit profile. Having those locked isn't going to let me, perhaps. What we're going to do, and I don't know if this will work because I'm not an expert in Revit, but I think I can move these objects. The base point will still be there. Yeah, I don't think it'll let me move the reference planes, which is fine. We don't need to, but so it's out there. So now we would align this and this, this and this, and now we can lock them all. And we're actually going to align the sill with that. That way those two objects will stay next. We want, this is the center object, right? The little centerpiece. And so what I mean by that is the width of this wall, let's say it changes to 4 inches. When everything, or goes to 10 inches out, when everything squeezes or expands, we want this to be proportional to the location, or these two objects, we want these two objects to stay with this object. And the center object is always going to be proportional to the center line of the wall. So if it turns out to be 4 inches, it will be, this wall will obviously turn in 2 inches, but then these objects, because they're stuck to this, will be dragged with it. That's the hope. So that way when we resize it and everything else like that, it, you know, it stays. So go ahead and click OK. Click OK. And then we go to 3D. Sweet, it actually works. Alright, so in 3D it works. Now, so we have those two. Now that looks like a real window. So we just need to create the other side, and then we will have ruined it. So let's go ahead and do that. So in reference lines, we need to create this space, but on the other side. So getting a little crowded here, but what I meant before about making them equal is like, see how this is equal, EQ, EQ? That means that as I change the width of this window, the parts inside will always align themselves with this line. So as this side goes out 6 inches, then everything on this side will also go out 6 inches. It's required for it to do that. Exterior, if I look at exterior again, see I actually made EQ and EQ and then double EQ for the center ones. What that means is, so these two top frames will be equidistant from each other. As you make it taller, these frames will actually increase in height as well. But then the center object down here, it means that as these two increase in height, they'll stay proportionally equidistant from their center. What that means is as this top part, let's say this top frame goes up 6 inches and the bottom frame goes down 6 inches. Okay, instead of this frame being dragged down 6 inches and this frame being dragged up 6 inches, and then there's a 1 foot gap in the center, it forces the bottom two to get dragged down as well. So as this goes up 6 and this goes down 6, this goes up 6 and this goes down 6. And that way it looks like a single frame. Learned that by making mistakes many times. Anyways, so let's go back to reference view. So now we need to create something that we can sweep, a plane reference we can sweep around again. So what we're going to do is we're going to create, well, we already have existing ones, so why don't we just go ahead and copy. So we're going to copy this plane right here, and we're going to go down, and we only want this to be ½ inch thick. So we're going to go down ½ inch. Okay, so that's down ½ inch. Now, because of the other lines, we already have it drawn out, so it's no big deal. And we're just going to make a small 1 inch. So the guides are 1 inch, the actual frames are 2 inches. So we're just going to make a 1 inch guide again. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go back to exterior view. And we don't need these reference lines anymore. So we get rid of them. But we do need, well, we can actually use the wall as a reference. It's tricky, but let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. See if we can do that. Let's go on the interior wall. Yeah, let's do it from the interior wall and then push it back like we pushed back the other object. So create sweep, pick a path. So we're going to pick the interior portion of the wall. And it's just picking the closest ends. Okay, so go ahead, edit profile. Okay, you have to be in a specific view to see it, which is fine. So it's picking from this point, obviously. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, it has to end here. Yeah, that's annoying. Okay. Okay, it's not the end of the world. It's annoying, but not the end of the world. Okay, so we just have to create ½ inch, 1 inch portions, and I think this is already 1 inch out. So let's go to create reference plane, and I think this reference plane, ugh, it's being annoying. Yeah, it's already 1 inch out. So let's go back to create reference plane. We have to create it 1/2 inch up. So ½ inch. Which is kind of annoying since we had already created reference planes over there. Now we just have reference planes up the wazoo, which means we need to remember to get rid of that one, which we'll do later. Or we can just keep them all. When you start adding more and more objects onto it, a way of doing it is you can just hide certain things. So all the reference planes we're not using right now, we can just hide. It ends up with thousands of reference planes, and it's hard to tell where it goes to what. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, it can be frustrating later on as you add more and more onto the window if you don't take care of these things. Yeah, so for specificity's sake, we will get rid of those two. I don't think any objects are being aligned with them, so we'll get rid of both those reference planes because they're only being aligned to specific ones. Yeah, so we can get rid of those two. This is just the center line. There's nothing on that. All right, exciting stuff. So let's see. We're gonna create the lines and ½ inch up, ½ inch down, closed, and we're not gonna align anything right now. Actually, let's edit sweep. Select profile. Okay. Now, edit profile. Now we can attach it to this one. So we had to let it first create the object. If we put it all up here, what it'll do is it'll create the object like this, but it'll end it up over here. And so instead of it being created this way, it'll create it out here and make a box. Yeah, it's stupid, but it's Revit, so. Anyways, so now we can align things. So the important one is this wall to this line because we want it to stick to it, right? The rest of them are nice in case you add things on that if you add something on, you accidentally bind it to a reference plane, it won't pull the object out. But apart from that, it's really not that necessary. So we will have to keep this reference plane actually. It did come into play. Okay, so we don't need this one. Or yeah, we do. We don't need this one. That reference plane is not needed. Got rid of that one. Okay, click OK. And then if we go into 3D view, should look horrible. Alright, sweet. See how it has like a little edge, and then another little edge in the center, and then this thing slides up and down in between them, and this window sits out on the other side. And that's our window. And we can make it a little more detailed if we want, but we don't, oddly enough. We actually don't want to do that. Anyway, so loading the project, so we're going to load it into the house project. Okay, so now we have it in here. So this is one I made previously, and it is infuriating. It has a nice sill portion, but yeah. Couldn't get because of the shape of the sill, couldn't get the objects to stay banded, so they don't sit banded. Whereas this one, I mean, look at that. The problem is this one has interior glass portions. This one doesn't right now. So we're not done yet. I forgot. We have to create the glass inside of those windows, those two little windows we created. So we got to work on that first, which should be fine. We don't necessarily want the glass to be an inch thick, since glass is usually only 3/4 inch thick. But for sake of ease, we're just going to make it an inch thick. But in reality, glass is 1/2 inch, 3/4, and so it would be sitting inside the frame. It wouldn't be equal with the frame. We don't need this one anymore. Get out of my face. This is what it looks like on the drawing. As you can see, the architect sketched out transforms above guillotine windows. So we're just replicating what he drew, which is really easy to do in 2D, but making a variable dynamic 3D window that can be readjusted is a lot more difficult. And what I meant by readjusted is, so if I click this window, right, and I say, you know what, I don't think so. I want this window to be, you know what, I want this window to be 4 feet wide. This is going to be a 4-foot wide window. Boom. Immediately destroyed itself. Look at that. Works like it doesn't. Interesting. Okay. So that is a problem. Let's say the height. What if I adjust the height to 6 feet? Does that also have an issue? Oh, it does. It won't let me do that. What if I make it smaller? Nope. Won't let me do that either. Huh. Well, it's good we found out about this now. Okay, so interesting. So this is why you're supposed to test everything as you go along, otherwise you end up where I am now. I don't know which part we went wrong on. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what happened. Oh, whoops, we have a lot of things open now. Okay. This is our window. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see. So we're gonna have to figure out also how to get into identity data because we want to be able to. But yeah, so let's take a look at the. That's not gonna do us any good either because those don't have the sweep profiles like ours does. I don't even think it had it. We can look. I don't think it's gonna show it. Let's see, view. Switch windows. So this is no interior. Okay, so this. So we've recreated similar objects, but huh. See, there's like a smaller window embedded in that larger one. And it all looks fine, except it won't stay aligned with these. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we shouldn't have locked all of the objects. Let's go ahead and unlock them all. See if that lets us change things. Actually, let's go take a look at our window again. If we edit this window, so we can change the sill height with no problem. If I want this to be 2 feet, 10 inches like most of them are. See, I brought it down to 2 feet, 10 inches. So we can adjust the height with no problem. But we want to be able to adjust the height of the window. If we adjust the width of the window, let's see what's not changing. Or 4 feet, yeah, that's what it was before. So when we adjust the width of the window, everything's adjusting fine except for the little frames. The little frames aren't adjusting out with it. Oh, that's what's happening. Yeah, we shouldn't lock the little frames onto the middle frame because it's dragging it to the center. Huh. This is a conundrum. Or we could just leave the windows normal, like the default windows. But I kind of wanted to make nicer windows that looked like the windows she had in the house. So if we can do that, we're going to try. Not saying that we can. Yeah, so in here we can click individual objects. So let's go ahead and do that. So yeah, so let's adjust the width. Click apply. Yeah, so that's our problem. Doesn't matter because it's locked with the other object. Let's leave it like that and take a look at the reference. So this got dragged out and these got dragged out. So it's stuck here. We want it to be stuck here, but maybe not stuck there. Oh yeah, that's right. We don't want it to be locked into that position. If we lock it right there, then it can never move from here to here. Like this line can't move and this line can't move, so the only option is to get wider. But that's not what we want. We want and we don't want the frame ones to be locked either. Okay, so that's fine. So now we have to edit this one. So we edited that one. I have to edit this one. Edit this sweep. Select profile, edit that profile. And we don't want this one to be locked either, which is the vertical line right here. You don't want it to be locked where it's connecting. Only on this side. So that's fine. That's fine. Now we have 2-inch, this one right here. Just edit sweep. Oh, it actually. Oh, this is on the side view. This is on the top. We don't want it to be. Oh shit, this is confusing. This is looking from cross-sectional view. So everything's not just flipped, but it's inverted. Because this, we don't want the bottom to lock. Yeah, we don't want the bottom to lock. Yeah. We want the top to stay top with, we want the top to be connected with the window, and we don't want the sides to get longer or wider. But this one can be unlocked. Okay. Go to reference view again. So now we need to change. Where's the second one? No, yeah, it's taking me to that again. This one we don't want to play with. That one's for sure, right? So we already tested that one. Or I tested that one already. How do we select the other one? Let's go to 3D view. Let's save all these changes. Oh, didn't lock in that. Oh, see, everything went back except for. Oh, that's interesting. The interior one should have went back. I don't know. I can understand this one not going back. Maybe that one should be locked. Well, we'll see if it doesn't work. Let's see if I go to make it 4 feet again. Oh, all of them are still messed up. Huh. Oh. Maybe, hmm, uh, let, maybe this is keeping it. Let's see if it is. Can't create that sweep. Can't create the sweep going higher. You know what? What if, this is gonna be stupid, but what if I got rid of that? I wouldn't have to create that sweep anymore. Oh, it is that one. It can't create that. It can't create that increase in sweep with, oh, because it's not locked to the bottom anymore. Oh, what the heck? Can't create sweep. Oh, man. I don't know. Okay, let's see for. Now that one, since it's unlocked from the side, it doesn't stick with the other one. I don't know, man. I don't know how to keep all those objects. Probably already making this too long as it is. Yeah, 33 minutes, jeez. You can skip through it at least, though, so you have to listen to me think. Let me see this. Hmm. I locked it with the sides. Maybe I need to lock it with the interior of the wall. It's locked here. I don't get it. Where did it even go? I don't even see it anymore. I don't even see it. Oh, so infuriating. Let's try to fix one thing at a time. Okay, so we have the first object. Everything else should be deleted now at this point. Oh man, this is why you check things as you go. Jeez. Okay, so. Yeah, great. I don't even know. That's the one that was drawn from the side. So at least make it back to normal. Okay. So that's 2 inches. 1 inch wide like we wanted. And let's see what it's bound to. We don't want it bound on the interior. I want the other two to stay. Just to make sure. Got rid of that alignment. That should make it only stick with the other parts. Let's see if that's true. Oh, it went up again. Huh. Oh, you know what? Let's try this. This is gonna really suck if this is what you have to do, but let's try it. Well, it won't suck, it's just very complicated. Okay. Let's see. I need to create. No, sorry. Forgot what I was doing. Okay, so I need. So we're going to start with this. Okay. And then we need to edit the sweep because we need to see we need those two reference planes. We need to align this reference plane with this one. Okay. And then we need to align no, we don't need to do that. Not on this side. That has to be done has to be done here. Yeah, we don't need to change the sweep. It's fine. Has to be done here. So those are equal. Which should be the same if I go to reference plan. They should be equal now. They're not. We need to make them equal. Okay, now when it readjusts itself, it should keep those. Let's see. May have to relock them. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Nope, didn't really affect anything. Yeah, we have to relock it. So let's change it back. I'm sorry, I'm thinking. Select profile, edit profile. I have to. Everything's aligned except that part. And that E is an equidistant. So we can lock that. So it should recreate the sweep. See, it's not keeping this opening. Does each object need an opening defined portion? I didn't think it did. Let me see something.